Okay.
That's right. I'm sorry.
Keep your phone off and see.
Hello, Monk's Corner. Welcome to the 2026 Monk's Corner fireworks celebration. We are celebrating 250 years of our country's birthday. Let's give it up. At this time, I also want to do a big hand for all the veterans who have served our country so bravely all these years. And a special shout out to our World War II veterans that we still have with us today. We want to thank our sponsors, Berkeley County Parks, Recreation and Tourism, Hoover Chrysler Dodge Jeep Cherokee, and Renewal by Anderson. You can imagine this is a big thing to put on in the town of Moncks Corner. I also want to thank Miss Susan Gilmore, Francis Johnson, Liva Rentz, our brave firefighters, our police officers, our public service. This takes everybody, all hands on deck to make this event happen and to have it one of the best in the Low Country. Last year, this event was elected best event in Berkeley County, and we could not do it without them. I am honored to be up here today. I am a Navy veteran myself. I love our country just like I know everyone out there loves our country as well. And we don't say that we're the Low Country's hometown just to say it. We do it because we bring people together, we have fun together, and tonight we're gonna have a blast. All right, I'm gonna introduce a very special person. We're gonna have a reading of part of the Declaration of Independence by Jeff Neal. Thank you to the Berkeley 250 Committee for sponsoring Mr. Neal. After he speaks, I just want to throw a few of these out. Randall Fowler will perform next. Then Vinyl Days will take the stage after Randall. Please visit our fabulous food trucks and vendors. They've been out here all day setting up. Lost children will be taken over to the command center at the Public Service Building. That is the green building over here to my left. It has the big Moncks Corner flag and says Public Service. If you are separated, grab somebody. We have, like I said, the fire station, the fire department over here, the police up front. Just get hold of somebody and we'll get you reunited with your child. We have lots of free activities for the kids. The jump castles and all are going up over there. We definitely have some misting stations, so make sure to stay cool and hydrated. Fireworks are at dusk. Thank you all for coming out and being part of this with us today. It would be no fun if we just showed up and we was all by ourselves. I know. So, at this time, let me get a big round of applause for Mr. Jeff Neal.
Thank you, sir. 250 years ago, 56 gentlemen signed the Declaration of Independence, thereby ending British rule in the colonies and establishing the United States. Since that time, the Declaration of Independence has been called America's birth certificate. However, it is much more than that. It is a statement of what we believe, of the principles and the truths that we hold dear. So tonight, let us celebrate all that the Declaration of Independence has accomplished. The creation of the United States, the institution of self-government, and the recognition of natural rights. But let us also rededicate ourselves to these principles. For while these truths may be self-evident, they are not, nor have they ever been, self-executing. That while freedom is a natural right, it must be secured and protected by the acts of mankind. Our liberty, our equality, even our happiness, it doesn't come from words on a piece of paper, but from the beliefs and actions that those words inspire. So with this in both our minds and hearts, let us take a moment to hear those words that were written 250 years ago. In Congress, July 4th, 1776, the unanimous Declaration of the 13 United States of America. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them will seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence, indeed, will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience has shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and absurtions, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms. Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. A prince whose character, thus marked by every act which may define a tyrant, is unfit to be the ruler of a free people. Nor have we been wanting in attentions to our British brethren. We have warned them from time to time of attempts by their legislature to extend an unwarrantable jurisdiction over us. We have reminded them of the circumstances of our immigration and settlement here. We have appealed to their native justice and magnanimity, and we have conjured them by the ties of our common kindred to disavow these assertions, which would interrupt our connections and correspondence. They, too, have been deaf to the voice of justice and consanguinity. We must, therefore, acquiesce in the necessity which denounces our separation and hold them as we hold the rest of mankind. Enemies in war, in peace, friends. We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, in General Congress, assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do, in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right, ought to be free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states, they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, let us celebrate the 250th birthday of the United States of America. Huzzah!
All right. Give it up. I mean, he's coming out here in a full dress to give you a little bit of what holds this country together, and that's our Constitution. You know, I always say certain levels of government, there, you know, it's always fighting and fighting. But what we have at a local level here, it's very special. I want to give a little shout out. We can't do all this without our council. We have Mr. David Dennis. He's already here. LaTory Lloyd, Jay Law, Chad Sweatman, Leroy Dingle, and Brian Ware. You know, we try to always make sure in every budget, and we're in budget season right now, that we always set aside enough money. So it's really the businesses and the taxpayers amongst corner that allows us to do this. And we also have a very special town administrator in our town. His name is Jeffrey Lord. You see a lot of the things going on in town with the roads and with the construction and different things to make the California branch safer for everybody. We could not do that without Jeff Lord behind the scenes finding grant money and everything. When I say it takes a village to run this town, you know, I get to come up here and dress all pretty and look good, but the people behind the scenes that do the hard work day after day, those are the ones that make our town special. If you have any kids or grandkids right here at the Moncks Corner tent, I've got a bunch of giveaways for the kids. Please come by, see me. I'd love to get some pictures with y'all, and let's just have a wonderful night. Thank y'all very much.